Julie, it's such a joy to be here with you. I'm so excited to share this program with you tonight, and I'm really curious to learn more about the song cycle that you chose. I don't know anything about these songs, so
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm happy to share that with you. So I chose a cycle titled Five Art Songs, and they are by Florence Beatrice Price. Um, she is a relatively unknown composer, turn of the century composer. Um, she set these five poems to some amazing music, and they are written by four poets: Langston Hughes, who a lot of people are familiar with from the Harlem Renaissance, and Paul Laurence Dunbar, who wrote what is probably the most well known of these pieces, which is called Sympathy, but a lot of people know it as I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. So, and or the shortened title Caged Bird. So, yeah, Price, I had never really heard of her, and it was actually my pianist, Christopher Pettit, who introduced me to her. We had done one of her pieces about 8 months ago. And I just, when this opportunity arose, I just was excited to return to that music and couldn't resist the opportunity to do more of it. So yeah, so her music is really having a resurgence right now, which I'm very glad that that's happening. She is just, you know, she is an African American woman who set these poems that were all written by African American poets. Um, so she brings together, this what at the time was very popular black nationalist style of writing, very much a traditional American style, but then also European form as well, which she gained in her studies at New England Conservatory. So really eclectic style that just has appealed to me so much as I've gotten to know it better. Um, and so I'm really excited to share it with everyone.
that's beautiful. And why did these songs speak to you particularly in this present time?
Um, well, I think first of all, they were written by her at a time that was, a real challenge for not just women, um, but also for people of color. And so, you know, the way that she connects to the poetry and the things that in both the music and the poetry, um, the way that she expresses that, is so interesting and beautiful to me. Because I think as these poets write, we all have hopes for raising children, for striving for social change. Uh, but in her experience, there was a lot of oppression and a lot of limitations on her, and so I just think about this time of Black Lives Matter uprisings, and not too long ago, the Civil Rights Movement, um, and then moving back to that period of time when she was writing, that Jim Crow era. You know, um, what has changed? Things have changed, right? But I think the thing that I'm very interested in about this music is um, how it expresses a longing for that change um, that we continue to see today, and hope um, for better things to happen in the future. So,
Yeah, that's so powerful.
mm-hmm.
And how did these, what was it like preparing these songs in the past few months?
Well, I would say that, at this point in the pandemic, we've all had to learn things, right? New things. I've gotten used to the technology, but at the same time, I had the opportunity to have my son home for Christmas. And he was here for 2 weeks, and we did the whole New York State quarantining and testing and all that kind of thing. But then we really bubbled up and enjoyed working on this project together, which was really fun. And it just so happens that he's a professional audio engineer and just a fantastic videographer as well. So that was fun. So we got to work on that together, which made this project, a little bit easier for me, but a lot of fun. But I'm especially grateful to Rock Opera Collective for the extra challenge of adding that video element. When I think about what we do as singers, we are used to using our voices, but we use our voices alongside text, poetry. It's this privilege that we get. It's a little different than other instruments, right, where we get to sing text, and yet, adding on that other art form, of video, it really did challenge my creative process. But I think it also challenged me to grow in that. So, at the planning stage, it was pretty daunting. But then as we got into it, we had a lot of fun. My son and I spent one entire morning driving around Rochester and filming a lot of the public wall art that we have in Rochester, which is just really fantastic. It's incredible, and just the way that connected to what it was, the story the narrative that we were trying to create, and the connections that we were trying to make between, this poetry that came out of the Harlem and Chicago Renaissance, but then how it connected to what we see today. A lot of that really figures in some of that wall art. So I'm grateful for that challenge, and I think we rose to it. So
I'm so excited to hear these songs and see what you and your son put together. Thank you so much.
thank you.